Welcome back. This is episode 3 of the Outpack Podcast. I'm Anthony Gruzancic, your host, and this will be the third episode released all at the same time as episode 1 and 2. So looking forward to hearing your feedback, any advice and any additions that you can add to our current topics. Please get in contact with us at the Outpack social media sites. We're on Facebook and Instagram /Outpack Podcast. Also on email at info@outpack.com.au. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a rating on your platforms that you listen to your podcast to. We're on pretty much all of them now, including YouTube. So look forward to hearing back from you. I thank you in advance. I know it takes a bit of time out of your day to do so. And yeah, time's valuable and I do greatly appreciate it. Episode 3 topic today was the secondhand market. Just a few hacks, what to look for, what's happening in the secondhand market and according to what I see in the market, and just some advice and tips for moving forward to find a bargain, make your holiday a little bit more affordable, and save some money, make some money, and go from there. So my first thing I always say to people is research what is right for you. What are you willing to buy secondhand? What are you willing to fix? If awning has a pole that's a bit bent, can you replace that pole? Are you willing to do that? Is that are you able to probably make a new bracketry for something that you want to buy, and you don't have to worry about it, creating something and doing a bit of DIY to it. You can always save a bit of money doing that if you're a bit creative, or you got friends that can help you. I've definitely got a few friends that can help me in that sector and have in the past. It's been greatly helpful, save some money, and a bit of experience to do so. It's a bit of fun. You add your own touch to it, and it's interesting what you can do there. But for instance, I bought an awning for a car. I had to make bracketry to add it to my roof rack, and I went to Bunnings, bought some galvanized L-shaped brackets and bolts, and made my own brackets in the garage before going on a trip. Saved me probably $100 in worth of buying custom brackets online, and I was still able to save money and broke even with selling 2 King's awnings that I had sitting in the garage on my car that I used. They were more inconvenient to set up. This was a 270-degree awning that was actually off a Patriot camper, and it's Australian-made super peg. Got wraps around the whole car. It's exactly what I wanted. Perfect price. It was just a algorithm day where it happened to pop up on my feed, and all of a sudden it's on my car within 24 hours. So I was pretty lucky with that. In saying that, I made sure that I had no holes in the canvas. I made sure that everything that was in the ad was there. Actually had a few bonus things with it, which was great. And I actually used some of the poles on my existing tent that I have now to make that a bit better. And yeah, it's definitely helped. And I saved a ton of money on it. I didn't really actually spend any money because I already had the awnings from my previous awnings from the same car. So it was good to find exactly what I want, and they come around a little bit here and there, but sometimes you do have to search. You may not want to buy a second-hand stove, for instance. You may want something new because gas is a very dangerous item to be using, including the butane cans. Sometimes it is good just to buy new in those instances to reduce the risk of any leaks, any damage. Also having a warranty in those instances. You want to be safe when you go away, particularly yourself and your family. You don't want anything blowing up on you because it was secondhand. So things like stoves, electrical items like your DC chargers, probably best to buy brand new. At least it's been come out of the box and installed straight away, whether it be a friend that knows what he's doing or auto electrician, which I use because you reduce the risk of a fire going off in your car just in case, because 12 volt is quite vulnerable sometimes, and if it's not done safe, it can cause a lot of damage. And the last thing you want to do is burn down your asset or have further damage to an asset, in particular your car, which could be used as your 9 to 5 like mine is. Your items sort of secondhand that you can buy is mesh floors for your tent, pots and pans. You can just easily clean them up. Even a toilet. I bought a second-hand toilet, and it's called disinfectant. Cleaned it, done. I paid $50 for it instead of $199. Even came with the bag, and you wouldn't even notice the difference. But personal choice, up to you. Personally, I'd rather save that money if I'm only going to be using it 4 or 5 times a year and put it towards something else. So, yeah, those items that you want to research that you're willing to fix, or you're willing to, you know, take the risk of buying secondhand. It's up to you, but I'm just giving you my personal choices. And when you see the product, assess it. Bring a friend with you if you don't know too well at what it is. It's always good to have a friend with you or a family member to have a second eyes on it, because admittedly, when you're buying something, you get happy ears, you're a bit excited, and you sort of bypass some of the things that may be good and may not be good. Having a second eyes there, particularly someone that maybe even owns the product, it's great to bring a second set of eyes to make sure that, you know, you're getting what you're paying for. It's not broken. You also have that second set of eyes that can see that, you know, they've owned the product before, and then see something's wrong, and you can just walk away from it if it's not the right one, or you can put a bit of bargain on it if you can fix it. It's up to you, but definitely a second set of eyes definitely helps you guys get the best out of your money, because, you know, we all work hard. We've got limited time, and our time's valuable. It's not worth wasting money if you can help it. Additional to assessing the product, have the person selling it, particularly if you're buying a tent or a swag or something that requires a setup, ask them to set up before you turn up, or even have them set up while you're there to see if everything is working, particularly with tents, if they've got a hole in it, or a swag with a hole in it, if it's repairable, if it's not. If they're not willing to set it up, I personally think if they're not willing to set it up, I just walk away, because it's not worth the time and effort to have something stuff up when you get home. You can stuff up while it's right in front of the customer and walk away, and you're not wasting your time. Especially if you've got a mate that's had the same thing, they can help you set it up with them and go through everything, make sure the poles are there, the pegs are there, because you may buy a tent for $200, but if they replace the poles, it's going to cost you $50. And you got to assess, is it worth paying that money, or can you get a discount, or bugger it, I'm going to buy new and have a warranty. It's personal choice. I bought a tent secondhand. I set it up in the backyard myself in front of the customer. I had made sure every single product was there as per described. Threw it in my car, paid him cash. See you later. Happy days. So definitely get it set up before you go. Make sure there's no holes in it. Even get a hose and run it over if you really want to. What's the worst he's got to do? You're either going to dry it off on the way home, or they can dry it in their own time. It's up to you. But yeah, it's not worth wasting your time if they're not going to set it up, or if there's an issue with it. Either A, you can fix it, or B, walk away. And once you've assessed the product and purchased it and you've come home with it, I always give it a good clean, no matter what it is. You just never know. If it's something like, example, a toilet, disinfect it, get some bleach, clean it. Any floor mats, any canvas products, give it a clean, even if you have to re-season a swag. That's always the best way of getting it ready for your trip. There's a lot of people that buy stuff secondhand, just they put it in the car probably straight away and get out and realize there's something wrong, or it's dirty, or it's just not able to be used. So as a second reminder to yourself, just clean it when you get home, get it ready, set it up again, practice a couple of times if it is a bit of a complex product. Pack it away in the bag that it came with it, or buy something new, or if to store it in, or something you may have existing around that you can store it in. It's always handy to have everything labelled and ready to go for when you go away. Being a new product in the house, particularly secondhand, you want to make sure that it's going to be working for you moving forward. So always assess it prior going on your trip, and don't test it when you're on your trip straight away, because if there's an issue, it's not the best place to be when something occurs. And once you've got your new products and they're working and it's all good and pretty well done, the other thing you can do is sell your own stuff you got around the house, particularly if you replace the existing product. If you haven't sold it already, sell it, take some photos of it, put it on Marketplace, put a good description, put a reasonable price that you think's worth it, and put it up. Make some money off it. Break even with what you purchased to what you have around the house. There's so many things you can find around the house that has just never been used. Clean it up and put it online. It's always worth making a little bit of extra money around the house and putting it towards your trips. I always just used to keep that money aside just for secondhand items and money to fix something I've bought, or even if you have to fix something you've got to sell, even better. Adds a little bit of extra fun to it, and it saves less clutter around the house, less in your storage area in the garage, or in your shed, or wherever you store your stuff. It's always good to declutter, so when you're packing or unpacking from a trip, it's less daunting, because sometimes you find that you've got so much stuff, and then when you go away, you still probably got 40% of the stuff you normally have sitting in the garage, never being used on any trips. Put it online, sell it, get rid of it, declutter. It is so much better, and it may even make someone else's trip a bit better and make someone else happy as well. Not to mention, when you're buying something new, you've got that money set aside to put towards something new, or even petrol. With the expensive prices of petrol these days and food, it's worth making a little bit of extra money to take the burden of the expense of a trip. And it's even more fun when you get the kids involved. They can clean their items that they don't use anymore and make a little bit of pocket money off it. Try something new, try something different, give it a shot. My last point, I've purchased things online and actually came with extra componentry. So a roof rack came with extra lights that were stuck on it that I particularly didn't want to use. So I bought the roof rack for the car, installed it, and I actually cleaned up the lights, tested they work, added some wiring to it, and sold the lights online on Marketplace to as I didn't require them, and actually sold them and made some money back on it. So the initial purchase was actually discounted in a sense, as I made a few bucks off it by selling items that I did not require off the roof racks. So what you can do is, sometimes if you're going to buy something, maybe have some lights on it, or maybe have some other componentry on it, particularly if you're buying even a camper trailer that has extra walls and all that jazz that you know you're never going to use. Just sell it online and add it to Marketplace. Even if you make a little bit of money off it, it actually sort of gives you a bit of a discount of the initial purchase that you used. Also adds a bit of fun that you can, you could always chase to see if you can make all your money back. I doubt it, but, it's just a little bit of fun, I guess. It's a bit of a challenge to see how much you can sell it for if you're willing to. It's always worth a try. It's a bit of fun, and, expand what you're thinking, and at least it's not sitting in a box in the garage. You can go, I can put that online. If you make a few dollars off it and put it towards something else, towards your car or towards your trip, even better. And that concludes episode 3 of the podcast. I do appreciate your time listening to the last 3 episodes, and we will be releasing episodes fortnightly, hopefully even weekly. I'll be finding out when I have further guests coming up that have been booked in, and just timing them with them, and also what we've got ahead with reviews of products. And a couple of friends are joining me to have a chat, Jimwag, on the podcast as well, so you won't just be hearing my voice. I do enough talking as it is, apparently people say. So I do look forward to hearing your feedback that you have. Join us on our socials. Join us, email me as well. I've already released the information at the start of this episode. Have a great day. You'll hear hearing these podcasts very soon again. Cheers.